Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Singularity Roleplay. Tonight we are playing Heart of Darkness, a cinematic adventure for the Alien RPG, where, we're investigating the Erebos crawling station on the edge of a black hole.
Totally safe.
There's some shit going on, and not all of it is great. Nothing is great here.
Excuse?
Okay,
I've
one
achieved
thing is
my
great here.
perfect form of being a cat. That is exceptionally great.
One thing is great here. Exactly one.
Exactly what?
But a couple things before we get into it. This is a sci-fi horror game, so of course there's a lot of things with safety involved here. Everybody, of course, at the table we have got safety measures in check for the table. Everybody has a way to get a hold of me. But there's only so much we can do for you as viewers, so if something comes up that you're uncomfortable with, we encourage you to step away or, if need be, shut down the stream. Of course, we always hope that you'll come back and see how things play out in the end. But if not, that's okay. Your safety is important. If you'll notice down below us, our Tiltify page is still up for our AmeriCares donation page for Gaza. That should still be active. While we are still streaming during the strike going on right now, we are still collecting donations. So there is that going on. So let's kind of get into it, start in our overlay order, do some introductions. We'll start with Janie.
Hi, I'm Jamie. Janie Potts on social medias, and I am playing Serge Gajrabowski. I'm here. I forgot what I was supposed to say. I'm sorry.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah. I think it covers it.
I think I'm next.
Yep.
I am synthetic. You can call me Sen. I was Hector Nelson. Not really great. So I traded in for the better model. And now I'm Adrian. And it literally reads on my character sheet because I wrote in career where Meg left it blank. My career is I'm a fucking cat.
You traded up from your old lease into a better model.
And just because we like to be inclusive about saying, or I like to be inclusive about saying my pronouns, I use they, them pronouns. Adrian uses he, him pronouns. It took a lot for me to not say his pronouns were fuck it.
I think that's like the generally understood pronouns for all cats.
All cats. Every cat.
As a species. Hi, I'm Rise. Rise is playing Lark, who is the ship's psychologist synthetic. And there is nothing wrong with her whatsoever. She's very normal synthetic, as every other synthetic is, and she's there for you.
She is there for you. Perfect synthetic.
Absolutely. 100% normal synthetic.
I mean, just like the 100% normal synthetics that beat my character to death last game.
Yeah.
Just perfectly normal synthetics.
Absolutely.
Perfectly normal. Okay, getting into it, first things first, I need you guys to make me a d6 plus 3 roll.
D6. Ooh. I rolled a 6, so that's a 9.
I also rolled a 9.
You already have the 9 cards, and
Oh! Good!
let me
Should
get
I
that.
should I roll again?
Uh, if you want to, I suppose. If you feel like it. If you feel like it.
I mean, I'd be kind of sad.
There you go, Rise.
Oh no.
Okay, you're fine.
That's a 4.
You're fine. You're a cat. You're just vibing. You're just chilling, and I'm gonna.
For the record, for the audience, my entire personal agenda as a cat is get attention.
And roll. Jamie's doing okay.
Question, Meg.
Yes,
Can I choose the specific type?
fine with that.
Okay.
Okay. Last we left off, we guys had kind of regrouped back in the medical bay, and were regrouping and deciding what your next course of action was. You had just come back from the daughter mainframe, where you had gotten some information. There was some data extrapolating coordinates leading out into space. And there was also some medical reports from Clerk.
Meg,
Yes.
would you say that there's any shelving in the med bay?
Plenty of it.
I would like to jump up onto the shelving
By all means.
and search for something glass to knock over.
God.
Have fun. But essentially what you found so far is that to do anything else at this point, what you need is a live specimen. Whether that be continuing with making the necrotic serum
Mhm.
or the 26 Cronus strain. As a reminder, you also got a notice about if you got notice from a ship. You got a broadcast claiming to be from Whalen Yutani asking about it, Project Ironfish,
Yeah.
claiming that they would pick you up once they got confirmation about that.
Oh, that's right. I remember because we rolled to see if Sajad would have picked up the translation card from Nelson.
I think Sajad was the only one who knew anything about the Ironfish thing.
As for Shazad, that last bout rounds, more people seem to start feeling a bit sick. Sajad is hitting particularly worse for wear. It seems that fight with Stikes and the synthetics is starting to actually catch up with her, and is finding herself kind of worn down, taking a rest.
Would you say that what Sajad has would be like, I don't know, the alien universe's version of a head cold?
I mean, that would probably just be a head cold.
I would not say a head cold. Probably a nasty headache, but not a
Fair.
head cold.
Fair.
Life imitates art, imitates life.
Eventually, it's just all an Ouroboros, except an Ouroboros of geese, because this is Singularity.
That's terrifying. So Lark is kind of strangely, fascinatingly watching the cat for a moment. There's a moment where she kind of lifts her hand a little bit and then brings it back to herself. And well, it seems that one way or another we need to try to find a way to secure a sample, a specimen. That is certainly not my strong point, but considering that the rigors of our travel don't affect me the same, I cannot help but feel that perhaps going and trying to find something might be in our best interests if I volunteered myself.
I have a question. Is there a computer in the room?
Yes.
Anybody else other than who all is in the room? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Pretty much everybody.
Oh,
Does that include the NPCs that are part of the crew?
Yeah.
oh,
Thus far, at Sajad's direction, you guys have all pretty much stuck together. Although at this point, from this point in direction, you guys can split off or direct how you want to.
oh. I need a moment alone at the computer.
When you have the desire to have a moment alone, all of a sudden you see a paw just come into your field of view.
Yes.
Well, I wanted to I have a particular drive of information. I wanted to see what was on it because now I'm curious.
To access what's on that, you would probably want something strong, something bigger, like the mainframe.
Okay. Okay. Once I realized that, I just kind of put the hard drive back, and then I just don't say anything else.
Just because there's so much data on there.
Do you think the computers might have some information on where we might be able to find a specimen? Do you
Uh,
think?
we could
And
check the main.
if you believe that might help, but we were just at one of the main frames.
Or you can go hunt for a specimen. I'll just stay here.
Certainly. And Lark is going to start, like, rummaging around in here, trying to find what she thinks might be good for capturing a juvenile specimen of some kind. I don't even know what that would be.
In
Symbols?
in the serum analysis, what it recommends is a squid baby, is what it's being referred to it as in the
Yeah.
immature form. Um, you find like a cat carrier tucked away under a shelf. You figure that maybe that could be
Yeah.
big enough.
I'd still like to look and see if I can't locate some, like, injectable sedative, like hypodermic or something of that nature.
Also, when Adrian sees the cat carrier, he's 100% growling.
Make me an observation roll to see if you can find a sedative.
Observation. 1 success.
Okay, after rummaging through some of the drawers, you managed to find a vial, a syringe.
Okay. Now where to locate? I'm trying to remember back. Have we run across anything that might indicate where something like this might be?
We did have access to a thing that had, like, readings of life forms on the station, I thought.
Well, I have everybody's PDT data, so I can find like all the crew members and such. Anybody who's tagged like that.
Okay.
But as far as I know, I don't think we haven't found any other kind of thing to show like other life form.
That's fair. I also have a PDT implanted.
So the only other thing that I could suggest that maybe you guys might think about is the thinking back to hydroponics.
Hmm.
That was the area we entirely noped out of.
Yes,
Yeah, you're right.
thinking about hydroponics or maybe around, or just searching around there.
Okay. Well, um, I know we passed by the hydroponics lab earlier, as it seemed like perhaps it might be hazardous. Um, but I believe that may be the best place to possibly locate a living specimen of some kind. It seems a natural fit, at least to my limited understanding of these things. So perhaps I will go investigate there.
Well,
kind of tentatively reaches out and pets the cat. Like she's used to dealing with people, not cats.
Are you taking a cat with you, Lark?
I don't know, to be honest. I somehow doubt the cat follows orders.
Yeah, that's true.
Adrian climbs up the arm that was petting him onto your shoulders.
Oh. And for a second there, she starts to smile. Like almost doesn't seem uncomfortable necessarily, but unusual, and that she's not used to whatever is causing this expression. Like this is not think about and do. This is something is causing this to happen, and she kind of startles for a second. It's like, oh, fascinating. All right. I will return as soon as possible. If there's any issues, please keep in touch over the communications. And following her map, she'll head towards hydroponics.
Ligor is gonna tell you to wait up.
Hmm.
Drag Hedenstrom with her.
Are you certain? I don't want to put either of you in any sort of risk.
Yeah, well, we don't exactly know what this thing looks like or what it can do.
Correct.
So,
Safety in numbers, then.
exactly.
So I'm going to say, once your Lark is safely out of the room, Mr. Bowsey's going to try to go to the mainframe.
We all cause chaos in our own way.
All in your own way. Y'all are all on the same floor level, too, so. Yeah, y'all are all on the same floor level, just go in opposite directions.
Well, how about that?
Alright. So, before you head off to the mainframe, Ajiri is gonna stop you before you head out the door and ask, where are you going?
I'm just stepping out for a minute. I'll be back.
Stepping out where?
I'm going to check something out.
Then I'll go with you.
Oh,
Be
it's okay.
wandering around alone.
I can go by myself. It's fine. Sorry.
You're so suspicious!
I know.
I'm sorry.
It's everything in my brain for her not to go off by herself.
What we're gonna do is to play this out is we're gonna roll manipulation and against his observation. So let's see how this awkwardness goes. Did you find your mouse?
No.
Alright, I'll make the roll for you.
Oh, I wish I knew where it was.
Alright. Manipulation.
It's one
One
success.
success. Alright, and Jerry. What's your observation, buddy?
One
One
success.
success. So there's this back and forth going on where it's, yes, you are extremely suspicious and he is very much not buying it.
Trubowski is not good at being sneaky.
So it's kind of, you guys are at a standstill.
I am truly trying to figure out why they would not have given you more manipulation.
I don't know. I should have. All right, I see you're not going to let me go by myself. I need to do an additional assignment, and I would rather do it with on my own. So if you are going to accompany me, can you allow me to do my assignment with privacy?
You just outed yourself.
Oh my gosh.
I'm so sorry. I just can't stop laughing.
Well, I tried. I tried really hard.
God, maybe they gave you such low manipulation so you, Jamie, would be playing two characters.
Maybe this type of character you think would have more manipulation, but I guess not.
Yuri kind of frowns and starts to become a little bit more guarded and asks you, who are you doing side work for?
Well, I mean, it can. What do you define as side work?
You just said it yourself. You're doing additional side work for somebody.
Yeah, this is my side work. Wait, I just did it again. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm not good at this. I'm just-
If the goal is to be entertaining, though, achieved.
You were doing your damnedest, and I'm proud of you.
Honestly, this is a wonderful example of why I really want to play the campaign system for this game. So, like, you can make characters that are suited to yourself.
Sorry.
You're fine.
So yeah, let's go. Let's get this work done so that I can pretend like I never did this.
He's gonna step out the door with you and effectively lock Sajad in medical bay. Sajad's gonna So John's effectively passed out against the wall because her head is splitting.
I'm sorry, I botched that so badly.
You are fine.
But how many episodes did I make it without botching it? All right.
Got it. So you make your way. You and Ajiri make your way to the mainframe. And still smells like smoke, but it's been cleared out for the most part now. There's still that twisted, mutated body in the seat.
Am I able to plug the thing back in without dealing with the body in the seat, or do I have to like push the body out of the way?
It'll take some finagling, but you could do it.
Because what I want to do is see what's on that drive, since it's so important and it's appears that it help might help us get off with the ship or find it. I don't know what the deal is with it. And I don't have my mouse, so I can't. Is it iron? It's iron fish, right?
Yes.
Right. So I don't know. Is that a? I'm pretty sure that's a roll to see what I could get off of the hard drive.
Yeah. Do a contact roll. That's a lot of successes. That's
Good.
4 of them. So with that, yeah, effectively. What are the stunts for Comtech? I mean, all right. So there are some stunts for Comtech that we can look at. You can get a +1 modification to later skill roll relating to this one. You don't need to roll to overcome the exact same challenge in the future. You do it quickly in half the time it would take. Get new or expected information. You hide your tracks or you show off. So you can pick 3 of those.
Okay. I want to get new information, show off, and hide my tracks.
Okay.
If I can't do it narratively, I want to do it with the good roll.
So, what you find on this hard drive is primarily just logs and logs and logs of recorded transmissions of back and forth communications between UPP, the United Progressive Peoples, and information recordings that was collected through the black hole. It's all data, communications, coordinates, everything that's being collected from the Progressive Peoples. Effectively, Wayland Yutani is spying on its neighbors. And that's what Ironfish is just all that information being decrypted and taken back.
Okay.
I don't know how you're showing off, but I guess you're managing it in front of a jury.
I just look like an expert, I think.
200 word per minute typing speed.
Like I plugged the drive in, typed it all really, really quickly, got the information.
You did it all to a clickety-clack beat.
Yes.
It's all in rhythm.
How dare they spy? Who would do such a thing?
Who would do such a thing? How dare they?
You just can't trust anybody these days.
But yeah, that's what Ironfish is.
Okay, and I guess I'm covering my tracks by, I don't know, erasing evidence that I looked at it and then just putting the drive back into my bag.
Sounds good.
I guess after that, I guess I can make my way towards hydroponics.
All right, so you're heading to hydroponics a little bit after the others have already been there. So you guys have made your way to hydroponics several minutes before they have, searching for a squid baby.
Squid baby.
Hydroponics is hot and humid and looks like a black enigmatic jungle made up of resin. As strange tunnels and plants are encased with goo. I don't have another word for it, it's just goo.
I also don't like the humidity of hydroponics and have jumped off of Lark's shoulders and am going in the other direction without a care in the world.
Oh. Goodbye, kitty.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, Lark will approach like carefully. She doesn't want to scare off anything or, find something much larger that might decide to eat someone. So she's moving very carefully as she kind of enters in here. She's got the the cat carrier in one hand. And is looking around and trying to listen as best she can.
It's quiet, save for the slight chitter, almost, of what you can guess is maybe a juvenile of the deacon. And you watch as one pokes his bulbous white head out and kind of looks around before moving on into a corner and starts to vomit and encase resin over a body that has been brought in to the room.
She's going to very care. How big is this thing?
Size of a child, I'd say.
Yeah, it'll fit. Hey, my kids have crawled into the cat carrier when they were tiny, so I know they'll fit.
He's gonna have to jam it in there.
So, kind of look at the others and shrug a little bit, and then start moving. Probably overly so. Lark is not a stealthy person by nature, so isn't really know what she's doing to a degree. So she'll maybe kind of over exaggeratedly trying to be quiet and try to approach this thing. Got the cat carrier in one hand, kind of open it so that it's easily accessible, and see if I can't get close to this thing.
We're kind of whispers to you, I don't think that one's gonna fit. I think we're looking for something smaller.
Oh, is that not what we want? Oh,
No, it's called a squid baby. Maybe it's like that thing that Zajad killed.
oh, that makes a lot of sense. What do we do with that one then?
Leave it alone.
Okay.
Not bothering us.
She'll start looking around to see if she can't find something else to trap in their cat carrier.
Make me an observation roll.
Goose eggs.
Would you like to push the roll?
Can I do that?
I'm allowing it. You have new rules now, baby.
That's true. Yes, I will push that. So I add the stress beforehand, right?
Yes.
Wait,
Hush you.
There's new rules.
wait. I'm only a cat, but I can put 2 and 2 together.
It's 2 successes then.
So amongst the resin jungle, you spot something kind of sneaking its way through the underbrush. And it, much like Luger had theorized, it does look a lot like the octopus-like creature that Sajad had killed coming off of the Katarina. And living up to its name, Squid Baby.
Kind of gesture at the others and point towards it. And again, maybe a little over exaggerated. Try to sneak up on it. Like she's been watching old videos of the crocodile hunter.
Make me a mobility roll to see how sneaky you are. Sin, you too. Do it for Luger too. See how sneaky Luger is.
I did just message you. I don't have access to the character sheet yet.
You should. Might have just shown it to you. Didn't. Can be edited. Save changes. There we go.
Now it's loading. I'm taking control of an NPC during scenes where there can be danger, since we have a red on harm to animals, so I'm staying away from harm other than that.
We must protect the cat.
Take care of cat.
Okay. And what was the roll?
Mobility.
Oh. Hey!
There you go.
Very sneaky. You're able to quietly and stealthily make your way up to the squid baby and slowly weave your way around it, surrounding it, and encroach. You theorize maybe the best way to go about this is to have somebody grab it, try to wrangle it as best they can into the carrier. Maybe somebody gets a hold of it and injects it with that sedative.
So Lark will take out the injector and kind of look at the other two, probably Hedenstrom, and kind of like try to gesture with her eyes towards the thing, like you grab it, I'll snap it.
Hedenstrom. By the way, gender of Hedenstrom?
Male.
Okay. I didn't know by the first name. He will attempt to grab this, which I'm assuming is a strength close combat.
Yeah, strength. Just strength.
Oh,
Don't worry,
just
none of us
strength.
are good at that, so
You know what? It's fine. I don't have any points in close combat anyway. No, I fail. I would love to push it though.
Go for it.
What does that do again?
You add 1 stress to your pool and then you roll again.
Nope. Seven dice, no sixes.
I'm gonna make a roll for the squid baby. He's gonna freak out
You know, fair.
because he did not like trying to be grabbed at. And he is gonna run away or slither away.
I'll try to stab it with the sedative.
Give me a close combat.
Oh, come on.
Oh my god. You want to push it?
Yeah, I will. 100%.
Push it to the limit.
Now you can push it real.
Oh my god.
What is happening?
When you fail hard.
Nothing. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls in a row with nothing.
How many dice is that?
Too many.
7,
Let's see.
13,
Let's see if
20 dice.
Luger. Let's see if Luger can make the dive. Let's see if she can make a dive for it. Nope.
We're terrible.
Nope. Let's see. Let's see. She got the dive.
Finally!
She got the dive. She got it. And now this thing is wrapped around her damn arm, trying to cut off circulation. Somebody
Okay.
please help Luger before it does.
Stabby stab.
Today, stab. Poke with the needle.
Bash it with the cat carrier. I don't know.
Improvised weapon.
I'm
How
still
many
too far away to
fucking
help,
dice
sorry.
was this? 1, 2, 3, 7.
That was 27 dice to get 1 success.
God, this game.
Roll20 is such a great platform.
It hates me so much.
Such a great platform that I don't want to anger in any way whatsoever.
Yeah, this just looked like a full-blown body dive and then scrambling across the ground. Grabbed the tentacle and it just wrapped around her. So we stabbed it with the needle and it takes basically the whole vial to get this thing to even sort of calm down enough to wrangle it into the cat carrier.
And
Even then, it is
shoving it in there.
What? You've said squid baby. Is there more of a description of this creature?
it just looks like a squid.
Okay.
That's effectively what it looks like. It's got the long kind of head.
Okay.
And 5 or 6 tentacles that lunge out.
Fair.
No notable mouth.
That's excellent news for us.
Yeah.
Really?
Somebody demands attention.
Right.
Adrian cameo. On screen.
There. See?
Kitty cat.
Living proof that cats don't take orders.
Nope, absolutely not.
Okay, so you've got it in the carrier. And somehow you've managed to avoid causing enough ruckus to get further attention. Somehow.
Well, Lark was kind of holding this thing out to the side. And... Okay, back to the med lab then.
That was certainly a lot.
Every once in a while, she just kind of holds it up and looks at it like.
So when we tell them what happened, we're gonna just exclude that part, right?
I don't know. I thought it was. We were obviously successful.
Yep. Don't need to talk about anything else other than the success.
Certainly.
I've got a question for y'all.
Uh-oh.
Did Sajad tell everybody about the transmission
Don't.
for the
Oh, did Sajad tell Lark?
about the Wayland Yutani rescue with the as long as you presented the Ironfish data?
I know Lark has seen it, but I can't remember if she got that information from Sajad, but I actually think she might have got it independently.
I'm just trying to remember who knew or not.
I can tell you for sure that Nelson doesn't know because he's dead.
Dabowski does not
Good
know,
call.
I think, because I think she was trying to. I think that they. I think Sajak told us about the rescue mission, but not about the data.
That would make sense because Drabakowski's very suspicious.
You know what? I'm gonna chalk that up to the whole thing going on the ship, making everybody a little unhinged.
Sure, sure, we can say that.
I apologize. What was the last thing?
I said that Sajak told us about the rescue, but not about handing over the data because Drabakowski was being a little suspicious.
Yeah, I don't think Sajad mentioned anything about Ironfish itself, if I'm remembering correctly. Somebody call Shock and ask.
And Drabakowski's not mentioning it to anybody what she was looking at.
Well, there's a surprise.
The living embodiment of the don't be suspicious meme.
Just gonna say it's because of this ship. That's why.
Uh-huh.
Otherwise, it makes sense narratively.
Well, yeah, we all believe that.
So as you guys are moving from hydroponics to the med lab, the whole station seems to rock and shift.
Oh,
God, what's Adrian up to?
Do I run
Causing
into,
the whole station to rock and shift.
do I run into them on the way back?
Yeah.
Okay.
oh.
The whole thing seems to shudder, but then corrects itself.
Look, we've managed to find a squid baby.
See, you didn't get yourselves killed, so that's a plus.
Indeed.
I was
believe
coming
we should
around.
head back to. Oh, well, that's very much appreciated. Yes. I believe we should head back to medical now.
Yeah. Do you know why the ship just did that?
I haven't got any clue, but I suppose if I had to guess, I would imagine it something to do with being on the edge of the singularity.
All right. Let's just head back.
Are you saying that the singularity played a role? God, I don't know why I'm so slap happy tonight.
I was trying not to laugh. I was trying very hard not to laugh.
So you
It's
make your
okay.
way back to medical lab and have the squid baby. So what's up next? Bless you.
Well, it seems from
Sorry about that.
this point there are I suppose, a few options. There is the serum, I suppose, could be completed, perhaps.
Just because I want to keep my NPC statements to a minimum, I do think Hedenstrom will say, "Didn't we get this for some reason?"
Well, there were several options available. The what was it called? Some kind of serum. There was a name for it, I swear.
Necrotic serum?
Necrotic serum. That could be completed, which, of course, provides some scientific information and the like that could be useful. And then there were the others who, well, their own, what were they called? Perfectionists? Something along
Perfected.
those lines. Perfected. Uh, Apparently, something about this creature can assist them as well. I wasn't privy to that particular conversation, but I would also posit that the company would be quite pleased to obtain a specimen like this. Imagine there is invaluable scientific data that could be learned from examining such a thing.
But they'd also like data about the perfected too, but don't you think? We should.
Oh, certainly. I guarantee they would like, well, data on basically everything that's been happening here. I forget, what was Drabakowski's specialty?
I don't have my sheet open. I'm sorry because I can't use my computer properly because I can't.
Kowski is just listed as a doctor. Colonel Doctor.
Oh, I would imagine, Doctor, that your own scientific knowledge is greater than my own in matters of biology and medicine and the like. Um, so, what would you think would be the proper avenue here? I do wish to retain as much information as we can for the company as intact as possible. Um, I feel that's an important aspect of whatever we choose to do here.
Right. Well, I really do want the study to perfect it, but the company probably would like the serum.
So, the notations that we found earlier concerning this necrotic serum suggested extracting mutagenic cells from the creature's neural gland. Is that something that you believe could possibly be done without causing permanent harm?
I mean, if we're precise enough, it won't.
God, it would be wonderful to have an exobiologist right about now.
Wouldn't it?
I mean, you have to be very precise with the extraction because if you're off just in the least, it could easily cause a lot of damage.
Such training is generally outside of my own programming. That level of precision and intimate knowledge of these types of biological functions and devices, but
For the record,
well,
what kind of a role would that be?
To do what?
To extract the cells.
To extract them.
I'm just imagining a big giant needle that's got to go into a very tiny little spot.
Probably medical aid. Be the closest thing to it.
I mean, could we potentially...
Could you direct it by using observation? Like do kind of a tandem role?
Yeah.
Do they have a med pod on here? In here?
Do what?
Asked if they have a med pod.
I don't think so, but let me cook.
I feel like that would be too much for an auto dock, but maybe a med pod could be programmed.
Auto docs, but not a med pod.
Hmm. I mean, I've got a medical aid of 2. I believe that goes off of empathy, right?
Yep.
Which would give me an 8 total. I mean, I'd be willing to try it, but
that's not the 27 necessary to get.
you're not wrong. But at the same time, I don't know that that kind of thing would be in Lark's programming.
And I think I would have only read about it.
It's okay. Also, I don't know how we read that Nelson was a xenobiologist, but I looked at his career and it said engineer, so that was
Oh,
not correct information apparently.
Somehow you had the analyze feature though.
Yeah, I had the analyze feature.
let me see.
I mean, just because you technically can't do something doesn't mean you can't try.
Yeah. Oh, wrong document.
If you think that it's within your realm of, maybe I can try this.
I mean, I've got a large knife, 5 dice, and a dream.
Okay,
I mean, Hedenstrom is...
then what did you say would be empathy or medical?
Medical aid.
Oh.
I mean, technically, if Lark, I guess Lark is a psychologist, not a...
Correct.
Okay.
Is it
Uh,
possible to like if we find like a book or some kind of description of procedure, could we have like Lark? Could we program it into Lark? Could she learn it like that?
well, and
I
perhaps
don't think you're
with
gonna find a book with instructions on how to dissect a squid baby.
I tried.
Not with that attitude.
Hedenstrom's aid, since they are an expert in medical technology, is it conceivable that she could potentially do this?
I mean, Hedenstrom is good at observation. That's his skill.
Well, I mean, Lark would have to steady his hands of everybody, right? So we could figure out where we would have to do it. Would Lark be able to like be directed?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking. If we could do like a tandem role, like observation and medical aid.
I have observation as well.
And Dave's got a pretty good observation. Got like a 9 dice, I think. Before you even adding the stress die.
For Hedenstrom, I think I have 9 with the stress die. Plus, I have breakthrough, which I can automatically pass an observation roll of my choice without needing to roll, so...
So you can cheat. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, you handed me the character sheet, Meg.
I gave you an option and you picked.
Fair. I did not know the weight of my decisions. But for the record, the GM has final say whether or not this talent can be used for a particular role. So you have a fuck off clause.
This is stance we want to take. The buddy tactic.
I'm willing to try.
Look, this has turned into a space now.
Man, that paused your face at an exceptional moment for just a little bit.
All right.
Do you want to make the observation, or do you want the NPC?
The NPC seems like they have more observation.
Fair enough. Nice. A success and a panic. That's a 7 on the panic roll.
Seven, you're twitchy. Your stress level and stress level of other PCs in short range of you increases by 1.
Okay?
You're doing it again, Sin.
I am not trying to die now. I'm trying to stay alive as a cat. Completely different.
All right. So,
But hey, that gives you an additional die to use.
Yeah, sure does. Let's see what happens. 1 success
1 success, and that success
out of
is
11
all.
dice.
The third die. of the panic.
Redemption.
I'm just saying.
One success is all you need. Okay. So it's sharp eyes and steady hands. Not necessarily from the same people.
It's okay, it works.
You should
But
take a
now
sample. You managed to take a sample from the neural center of the squid baby to use for your serum.
And then that is supposed to get introduced to the existing formula, which I believe we found earlier. So,
Lark, you sure you had done that? You haven't done that before?
I am quite certain.
I'm
This is
suspicious. You did a very good
this is a
job for
wholly
first
new
time.
experience for me.
Just saying you did a
I-
really good job for the first time of ever doing that, if that was really your first time.
I am just saying that no truer words have ever been spoken by somebody than Dravakowski saying, "I'm suspicious."
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
I don't know why. She's just a completely innocent Colonel Doctor stuck on this ship. Never done a thing wrong in her life. Do we have to roll for it to put the sample into the serum, or is that just something that can happen?
I'll let it go. Some careful work. Imagine now that you've got it, you're being hyper careful with it.
Mm-hmm.
Some careful work and a little dedication, you guys have created a serum.
All right. I'm gonna look around and see if I can't find like a like a solid carrying case kind of thing.
Yeah,
That would
what?
survive like a drop or something if it gets.
Yeah, you can find some containers. What kind of form would you like for this to take? Like a gas? Liquid?
I was thinking liquid.
So you've got it in like containers and not beakers, but like tubes and
Yeah, like sealed vial
vials.
kind of thing with like
It would be like a glowy. It would be like a glowy liquid, I think. They're always glowy.
the.
Okay. Now you've got it.
All right, and I'm gonna add that. Here. Okay, and I'll put that in my pocket because cargo pants.
You can make a good size amount of this stuff now.
Oh, okay. With
Got
that
access.
case, then,
You got access to a tap essentially now.
okay. Then yeah, then I'm picturing like okay, well if that's the case, then I'm picturing like in movies they have like it looks like a suitcase and you open it up, you just got like the slots for vials,
Yeah.
like little with the foam padding and stuff.
Here, I
Can
was
I-
imagining you carrying cargo pants with just vials in it, with like the
Well, I mean, she is wearing cargo pants, so I was thinking, oh, I'll just put it in my pocket on the side there. All right. How long has it been since we got that message from the Wayland vessel?
Not more than a couple hours.
Well, from the time that we received a message earlier from the rescue vessel, it looks like we still have about roughly 4 hours approximately to wait until they arrive.
We can study to perfect it.
That is true. How would you suggest going about that?
I am not certain.
I know they wanted their own serum, I suppose you say, done, but I'm not sure how to go about that. And
But we made one serum. We could do another one too. I mean, you're a
true,
pro.
here we did at least have information guiding us on how to go about that. You could attempt to contact them.
Yeah, I can do that. Will I just wander around? Is there a signal?
Sorry?
That's that. I was joking around. Is there a signal like a bat signal?
Oh,
Lark is going to take some time after all that to like check on Sajad and give him some painkillers if he needs them and all that kind of stuff.
so Jade is female.
Really?
Yes.
How have I not known that this entire time?
probably we just didn't talk about it.
I guess.
If I remember correctly. If I'm remembering correctly, she is female, yes.
Okay. Well, either way, Lark will be checking on them. That's what I'm doing for a little bit. What are you doing, Cat?
Put a pin in things. We'll talk a little bit more about what we're doing, what next steps are after we come back from break.
Alrighty.
We'll be back in a few minutes, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye now. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We left off. Our crew had created this serum. And we're now deciding what their next step were. They were contemplating going and studying the perfected, I believe, was the suggested next step. While they were waiting on their rescue ship.
So do we have any idea what they wanted in the serum? Like, it
Because
could be
Lark has had no contact with the perfected at all herself. She was gone that entire time.
Were you not there? You were there when there was the one that called everybody. weren't you?
I don't think so. I think that's when I ran off to the and found the thing in the hangar bay.
To do completely normal synthetic things.
By the way, that has gotten much stronger.
Those completely normal synthetic things.
Mm-hmm.
Confess, I don't know much about these perfected. I wasn't involved in any of that.
I don't. I guess we could just come up with something and hope that it's good enough.
I mean, you could certainly try, but I would be severely worried that if you tried to give them something other than what they actually wanted, well, they might just try to kill you.
I'll look through the notes that I took and see if I can see anything, but I don't.
Dr. Lark,
Yes.
are you feeling alright?
Yes. Thank you for asking.
I don't ever recall you giggling.
Giggling? Did I? That's quite fascinating, isn't it?
Rock's being suspicious.
Well, perhaps we're all learning new things.
Well, you did the surgery out of nowhere. Well, not surgery. You got that sample out of nowhere. Now you're giggling. I'll be watching you.
Well, I will try to do something worth watching then.
Sorry.
And she'll kind of turn away from you and go back and kind of examining the squid baby in the carrier.
So I'm going to go over my notes that I know that I said the character took, um, and try to figure out something as a serum other than just throwing some ingredients together and hoping for the best. So I'm going to use my notes and then throw a bunch of ingredients together.
So what are you trying to do by throwing a bunch of ingredients together?
Make a serum?
A serum for what?
I have no, I have no idea. That's why I was going over my notes to see what the perfected said they wanted in the serum.
The perfected wanted the serum that was created by just adding the final ingredient.
Oh.
I thought they wanted something completely different.
Did they? If they did,
Yes.
why were we making the serum?
So there's two things. The perfected wanted a specific strain. They wanted they wanted a. So I'm gonna call it the 26 Draconis strain because that's what it is. They wanted the 26 Draconis strain, which is the last thing that they need in order to be the absolute perfect being. And it's what they need to be to continue what they want to do. The serum that you just made is basically the antithesis to it. It's what will inhibit their growth and counteract everything that is growing and taking over the station.
So we just did the opposite of what the perfected want. Okay.
Yes.
Mhm.
So can I take a sample of the serum we just made and reverse it? Or try to reverse it?
I mean, reversing it is basically just going to be breaking it down to its base components. It's not going to be making a whole
Oh.
new strain
Darn.
because the Draconis is basically a viral strain.
Darn it. Okay.
Do we
So
have
we-
any information on how to create the Draconis strain if that's what we wanted?
I'm trying to find what would be what you know. And no. But I'm gonna give you a little bit I'm gonna give you a clue to think about. Because Lark's got this pounding in her head right now. The perfected that you've encountered that has been encountered so far, one you ran into the one you ran into that the one you ran into up on the observation deck was tied to a WY Cronus tag. The perfected apparently allegedly came in on the meteorite along with the Halcyon lights. The meteorite is being stored on G deck in that hangar. Lark discovered that that meteorite was actually an EEV pod. Not pod, the EEV vessel. There was a WY Cronus tag still in that vessel. That has not moved at all.
Sorry.
I think it's appropriate. What the heck?
Perhaps, as a course of action, there is something we could investigate. Maybe there's more information there that will help with these perfected. It's on G deck. I could show you.
Only because I'm curious.
All right, then. Let's go, everybody. It'll be like a field trip. She's going to pick up the carrier with her squid. And she's got her case of
The new
other
pet
stuff.
squid.
Did you name your squid?
No, not yet.
So if I die, can I play as a squid? Sorry.
Sure. You can play the squid baby.
Oh, Lord.
I become a
Yeah.
cat. Janie becomes Cthulhu.
Same. So yeah, if everybody is willing, I will lead them to G deck. To my hangar. Of fun and excitement.
Good God, Rise.
You guys make your way to G deck, and it is much like a lot of H deck. Half of it is torched with plasma fire. But luckily, you're able to circumvent a lot of it by just sticking to the route, keeping on your way. You even come across Adrian, keeping along, tearing through the hallway, actually, running back.
What has Adrian seen?
What has Adrian seen?
The face of terror.
Probably nothing that you guys want to see as he climbs up the nearest person's leg onto their shoulder.
Just how cats have those, like, huge freaking pupils. I guess now Hedenstrom is the nearest, so I have a cat that I'm playing on top of a human NPC that I'm playing.
Part of the way, Lark is kind of turned towards say Luger. Like, I feel like I should have at least one hand free. Would you mind carrying this squid baby?
Here looks at the thing. It's still going kind of crazy inside the carrier.
Lark is just
And-
smiling.
Could we have gotten an additional sedative? Like, while we
Gingerly.
were in the med bay?
If you look for it.
That might be a good idea.
Would you like that to be the observation role that I use Hedenstrom's cheat ability for?
I'd allow it.
Okay.
So I have some sedative pills as well, but it doesn't have a mouth.
How are you going to feed it?
that's why I'm saying. I mean, it doesn't have a mouth. I can't give it to him.
Well, could it absorb?
Hedenstrom will inject the squid baby.
All right. It chills out a little bit. Still not very happy.
I don't think it likes that carrier too much.
Adrian hisses, and you're not sure if it's at the carrier or the squid baby.
But you make your way through G deck until you finally reach the hangar bay, where the beating heart of Erebos Station is sitting with its maw open and waiting, hungry for its next visitors.
When you get into this hangar, and it's all gooed up and everything, and Lark kind of walks ahead of everyone else, almost trance-like. She gets up towards like where the actual entrance to the EEV is, and she just kind of runs her hand over things before ducking inside. You hear a giggle from inside.
Yeah, I'm gonna like see this scene, and I'm gonna second guess following. It- you know what? Actually, I'll keep guard. I'll stand outside and keep guard.
Hedenstrom's going in just to push the plot along. I can't wait until Hedenstrom dies, and then Meg will have to pass me another character sheet.
I'm keeping guard outside. That's just a little too suspicious.
Should I get a purr in on the way to this? Is that allowable, Meg?
Sure.
So 1 stress level down for everybody. And apparently this is Lark's first experience of having stress reduced via cat purr.
Via cat purr, yeah. That's very true.
But yes, Hedenstrom will follow the obviously giggling Lark into the jaws of madness.
So, Ajiri is going to note that Jabrakowski is not going inside and is going to stand outside with you.
We need somebody to keep guard. And also, why? Why will we go in there?
That's my question. I think something snapped in her processor.
A whole lot of some things.
Luger follows you inside, still kind of gingerly carrying the case. Inside, you can tell that the outside of this pod, it's not outside of the pod is not recognizable as an EV. It's covered in what you figure to be more of that resin. It looks like an actual what would have been a meteorite. It looks earthy and like metal, warped metal and earth. And that carries inside. It carries to the inside, although inside it also looks like there's something also living. Pustules of pustules and pockets of what could be pus, acid, something. Dot areas around the room. You're standing in the atria chamber, the main conference hall, effectively the main room.
Lark kind of walks through, like lightly running her hand over surfaces. I found this earlier. It's a corporation ship. It has a tag that, well, was the same one that perfected individual had. Which means they have to be connected, right?
I guess that would make sense.
She'll kind of sit down in like the biggest chair she can find and just kind of put her hands down. There's something very comforting about this.
Dr. Lark,
Yes.
I don't mind telling you that you are creeping me the fuck out.
Oh, that is hilarious. But sad. I don't want to creep you out, Doctor. Would it help if you held Puppet? Would that make you feel better?
I don't think it would in this particular situation.
And she's kind of sitting there. She's got, like, cradling the ragdoll now. Well, that's all right. Puppet won't take offense at that. But anyway, I do believe there's some connection between this particular vessel and these perfected way people. I assume they came here to the station on this ship.
So, what makes the perfected any different from the threats we've been dealing with?
I don't know.
Alien's an alien, right?
Well, that seems a very narrow opinion. Obviously, and she kind of gestures at the angry squid. This is quite different from some of the other things that we've seen. I mean, they're all fascinating, certainly.
And Henstrom is just looking around like, is it just me, or are you starting to sound like fucking Nelson?
I don't think
Starting
we
to
sound that
sound
much
a
alike.
little manic there, Doc.
Interesting. I have never been manic.
Dr. Lark, should you be capable of being manic?
No.
If you saw that behavior in another synthetic, what would you say?
Well, I would assume that they have some very interesting programming going on. Something outside of the normal programming, I would assume.
Would you like someone to look you over?
No, I don't believe that will be necessary. I feel perfectly fine.
I don't remember, like, for the record, in the Alien universe, like, how synthetics are regarded. Like, are they regarded as a different kind of living entity? Are they regarded as, like, robots?
Synthetic or artificial person.
I'm trying to figure out if, like, they would have the rights of a person in that way, like autonomy and the like.
I wouldn't say they really have rights. Not not normal rights as a human.
That's fair.
Hi, baby.
Doctor,
Yes.
I would like to take a look at programming to see if there's anything going on that shouldn't.
I don't believe we'll be doing that, Doctor. Absolutely unnecessary and would simply be wasting our time. We have a limited window here to find as much information as we possibly can.
Right now, the information that I'm concerned about is whether you're A-okay.
I am perfectly fine. I appreciate your concern, but trust me, it's unwarranted.
Hedenstrom will remember that. Oh, there's a cat.
Yeah.
So Lark is going to try to see if she can't get into the EEV's computer and maybe try to get some more information than she might have been able to get before. Like where
That'd be a Comtech roll.
Which I'm not great at, but
Apparently, all the wit stuff Hedenstrom is good at.
maybe you should do it then.
Yeah, fine. Nope. Nope. You know what? Fuck it. We roll.
Ooh.
There. 2 successes.
So you don't find anything, and that is not for lack of trying. It is because everything has been wiped. So the only information you have is that there is somebody still on this, like somebody is still on the EEV. And it is registered that there is somebody still currently in cryo. Other than that, everybody is gone.
Got a possible body in cryo?
Fascinating. Well, we should certainly check that out.
Probably look into it, yeah.
I'm assuming most of these ships follow a fairly standard layout, I would think.
Fairly standard, although the halls are suffocating with how much of this resin has been resin and fleshy coating has been coated over everything. This pod seems to have been made into the original nest. Now you can guess that this is what the station is being turned into. Which you saw the start of in hydroponics. Now it's branching out even further across the station.
Above board, because there's a secret that I, the player, know. Do I know, does Sin know who is in cryosleep?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
That's rather tight quarters, isn't it?
Yeah.
Feels. What is the word I'm looking for? Feels a bit extreme how much there is. I think they wouldn't be quite so messy. Being perfected and all.
Well, I've got no indication that perfected is a descriptor.
Interesting thought. Perhaps I shouldn't assume that. Really, to call oneself perfected seems to reek of hubris.
That's about what I was thinking.
Well, let's go see if we can wake up our sleeping beauty. Yeah, I'm gonna try to crawl my way through the tangle.
Question, how easily could Adrian slip in through this?
Easy. It's not even an issue.
Could Adrian paw open this cryo chamber?
Probably not. It's a little advanced for kitty paws, but you could
Kitty
definitely beat everybody there.
Kitty Paws has 2 dice in Comtech.
For randomly walking on keyboards.
This truly could be the greatest moment, Meg.
You want to try to wake him up?
Absolutely.
Do it.
No. And I'm not going to stress the kitty. Adrian's going to make it through this with no stress.
We don't stress out the kitty cat.
No, absolutely not.
So you guys make your way through the claustrophobic halls, peeking into rooms that you have to identify before moving on. You find a bay that has a med pod. There's a physics lab. There's just more tunnels until finally you come across. There's a decontamination chamber until finally you come across cryosleep. There's 8 cryopods, all of them empty except for one emitting a soft glow. This one, outside of a few tendrils that kind of go past the door, this room is not touched by the resin coating. Seems like the hive just forgot to grow here.
Interesting that the material hasn't come into here in greater amounts.
Well, we've got the signal. Should I open it? Above board. I am controlling an NPC. I am asking a PC to make the final call.
I believe we should. If for no other reason, then we certainly can't just leave them here and
Fair enough. Should I make Comtech roll for Hedenstrom?
Go forth.
1 success.
Right. This machinery is dated. It's on the side of the machinery. It's on the. Wow, words, they do not work. This machinery is a bit dated, but not so much so that you can't figure out how to operate it. The cryopod hisses and opens, and it reveals a young man inside wearing nothing but his drawers, slowly starting to wake up. You pick up his med chart sitting on the side of the pod. His name is Levine. Evan Levine, the third officer of the Cronus. It explains that he was the first crew member that was infected with the neomorphic spores of the 26 Draconis strain. This strain was active in his blood before he was put to sleep. So he is still sick. You just woke him up.
So backing away. Backing away.
Officer Levine?
How are you lot?
We're from the Katarina. We found your vehicle.
Rena, I don't know that name. Kind of still a bit drowsy, swings his legs over the side of the pod.
It seems you've been infected with something. How are you feeling?
As much like shit as when I went to bed.
We may have something that can help you with that.
Fantastic. He looks around at all of you, and as he does a double take when he gets to Luger, and says, "Allie, what are you doing? Did you bring them here?" And she uh, sets the cage down and says, my name is Allie, but I'm not Allie you're probably thinking of. My great aunt was on the Cronus with you. She disappeared with you all. Right. That's right. Right.
Perhaps if we use the med pod, we can use the necrotic serum to counteract the 26 Draconis. And then Mr. Levine here can help us understand what happened.
Right. It's starting to come back to me, so yeah, I can answer your questions.
Let's see if we can't get you fixed up. And
I don't
Lark
know
will-
if you're going to be able to really fix this.
Well, you never know unless you try.
Just backing up, giving Dr. Lark all the room.
And she's going to try to lead him to that med pod that we saw.
After finding a jumpsuit in the locker, real quick,
Oh shit,
pulling that on. After finding a jumpsuit, putting that on real quick, I'll follow you. Over to the med pod. I don't understand. What are we doing?
Well, you see, we've managed to synthesize a possible serum for what you've been afflicted with.
You sure that's something that's going to kill whatever's in me and not me?
Do you have much of a choice?
Theoretically. You just sit back and we'll get you all tucked into the med pod, and then maybe you can tell us what happened while we're getting things set up.
Fine. Look, before you stick anything in me, just try to take some of my blood before you do anything crazy.
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, our lovely synthetic doc wouldn't want to do anything crazy.
Of course not, Professor. But yeah, so
You want me to start?
yeah, just you go ahead and talk while I gather some things here. She'll start looking around for something to take blood with and etc. Which actually, I think the med pod could do all that, but
Would you like some observation help?
you can, Professor, could you look around to find some files or something that we would need to collect the officer's blood?
Certainly. 3 successes, 1 panic roll of a 5.
5 is nothing. You're fine.
You okay?
Yeah, just stick up.
Okay.
Pretty violent one, apparently.
So I apparently find any vials we need, as well as 2 other things, probably completely unrelated. Maybe I found a cat toy, you never know.
Yeah. Cat toys are important.
Absolutely.
100%. My cat actually will only play with one kind of toy, and it's a specific kind of toy that I don't think gets made anymore. So he's just got the ones that he had from when they made them.
Oh no. Hopefully they're long lasting.
He hasn't destroyed them yet.
Yet.
I'll just start with what's important. Thing you gotta understand is that things you're probably seeing around, they're not monsters, not all of them. 70 something years ago, Luger, when she realized she was being turned into one perfected, we called it, she ruined the Chiron's FTLs so that they couldn't leave the system, trapped us in orbit around the black hole. She pushed me into a compartment and sealed it. Stopped my transformation, hid me, I guess. I guess they couldn't see me in hypersleep. I suspect that the fact you were allowed to board Chiron and find me means that they wanted you to find me. If you've got an FTL on your ship, you trash it. Don't let them get a hold of it. So they're just going to go to another planet, ruin it. Turn it into whatever they do with it. Whatever they did to this ship. Wherever the hell we are.
You make them sound much like locust swarms.
I don't know much about locusts.
Well, they move from place to place after they descend upon a food source, perhaps a crop, or something of that nature, and they tend to decimate things and then move on to the next feasible area where they can feed.
Something like that. I mean, they just want to make things the way they want them to be. Perfect.
Hmm. And are all of them mutated out of former humans?
Yes.
Fascinating.
I mean, everything that you've seen came from a human at some stage or another.
And how much of their former personality do they retain?
Some of the memory, at least the perfected do. The other monsters, they don't retain anything, obviously.
Wow. I can imagine that the company will be quite interested to learn this information so that they may formulate some kind of plan.
Plan against what? You can't bring this shit back to the company.
Well, to tell you the truth, the company is already on their way here.
How? How long have you guys been here?
Several hours now.
How long did it take you to get here?
How long were we in transit?
See, I'm the one that asked the question. I should have already had the answer. 3 months.
Well, our voyage was 3 months en route. I am uncertain as to where this other vessel began from, but obviously they were a great deal closer than we were.
You really believe the company had somebody that close by?
I see no reason that they would have said they would be here in 6 hours if they weren't.
It's real easy to lie on those transmissions.
Certainly, I suppose I just failed to see what what word am I looking for, Professor? What advantage, what benefit they could gain from it.
No. So I'm just the guy who just woke up, so I guess I shouldn't really be questioning anything.
No, actually. Questions are good. Questions are a positive step in a direction of somebody, of a group that has not been questioning enough.
I suppose they could have been a second vessel dispatched after us.
Or they could be hiding who they are.
Who else would they be?
I don't know.
Professor, are you familiar with the term ironfish?
Is Hedenstrom familiar with the term ironfish?
Probably not.
No, you got me, Doc.
I'm not familiar with it myself, but it was referenced in the communication we received earlier.
Yeah, no, that doesn't ring any bells.
Hmm.
Ring any for you, Levine?
Nope.
Well, perhaps we should get on with attempting to cure this particular patient.
Yeah, while you're doing that, maybe it would be a good idea to try to see if we can figure out anything more from that communication.
Something to notice that even as this conversation's happening, his skin is starting to become kind of gray and the veins are sticking out. Kind of distended, ashy, and kind of causing him to itch at his skin.
This onset time is fascinatingly swift. Very well. And she's going to make sure he's all strapped in there and see about using the med pod to deliver a dose of necrotic serum. Hopefully not kill him in the process.
Yeah, I'm sure that the necrotic serum is not going to have any ill effects. I mean, I'm all for this from a chaos perspective. Dude's probably gonna die.
So the med pod closes and it delivers the dose of the serum. But you watch as it kind of pools through the vein into the arm as it kind of begins to actually disintegrate, and he begins to kind of groan in agony, and that groan turns into his cry and almost a begging almost for it to the pain that is now rising from his pain that is now rising all over his body, pain, begging for it to stop. Um, and it turns into a scream. And within moments, there is just a puff as his body literally just disintegrates into a cloud. You are protected because he is inside the med pod.
Oh my.
Wow.
Wham!
That was
I was pretty sure he was going to die. I wasn't sure of how spectacularly.
This was an NPC that was always meant to die. So
I mean, was he always meant to die from being injected from the synthetic that's not supposed to be able to harm people?
no. This was a happy accident. How are your processors doing over there, Lark?
fascinating.
Okay, that's the last damn time I'm listening to that word be said in a situation like this.
She just kind of. Well, I certainly didn't expect that reaction.
You're sure?
Oh, absolutely, sir.
What did you expect?
Well, my assumption was that the serum would counteract the 26 Draconis strain, and certainly I thought maybe it might be painful, but perhaps the infection was more widespread through his body than we understood. This seems far more than a simple antibiotic reaction. This is a annihilation reaction, much as if you applied an acid to a certain material, perhaps.
Like he was ripped apart at a cellular level.
I never heard of quite such a thing happening. Well, I suppose we know not to do that in the future.
Unless we need a weapon against these perfected if they turn out to be hostile.
Quite true. Hopefully we can avoid such mayhem, but in the event it is necessary, could be quite effective.
Will you be able to do that again?
On purpose, you mean?
Now that you know.
I mean, considering that the perfected are human? Because I believe they would still count as human, simply mutated. Well, that would go against my programming to inflict direct harm.
Henstrom is going to walk up to Lark and say, Doc,
Yes, Professor.
I would like you to attempt to break my thumb.
Why would I do such a thing?
Because I need to know if your programming is completely on the fritz.
I will do no such thing. Now, if your thumb was already broken and it needed to be reset, I could certainly do that for you. But as far as I can tell, your thumb is perfectly healthy.
Okay. Suspicious NPC is suspicious of everyone. Like, this entire crew is the most suspicious crew. I guess the most suspicious person is dead, so the suspiciousness level has lowered slightly.
Well, perhaps we should get everybody back together so that we can discuss what happened. And there are some interesting points that were brought up in our discussion with Officer Levine.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably for the best.
Would you like to take any samples of the particulates before you go?
I would love to take particulate samples.
Considering I theoretically can't be infected with it, I would be happy to do that for you. Maybe the med pod has a function to do that. I don't know. You got a vacuum sucker. A dustbuster.
Dustbuster? Like,
Vacuum pod. Or med pod, made by Hoover.
It's Black and Decker.
Kirby.
Is it pink?
Oh God.
God, we'll never get anything out of there if it's Kirby.
But yes, yeah, a sample would be good.
Okay. You gather your sample and you go head to regroup with the others.
And I'm sure, Meg, that it will not be difficult for you to slip back into playing Hedenstrom in the exact way that I played Hedenstrom tonight.
No. No, not very. So regroup with Ijiri and Jabrakowski outside.
Yeah.
Ijiri nudges Jabrakowski and lets him know that everyway's back. And so what'd you find?
We found a survivor in a cryopod. He managed to relay to us a great deal of information about his vessel and how they came to be here, and these perfected. Unfortunately, he was infected himself, and, well, attempting to cure him did not go as planned.
Yeah, calling him a survivor might have been a little bit premature, Doc.
I mean, he survived one thing. Briefly. It's all very sad.
trying to figure out if the breaking into chuckles is you playing Lark or if it's just you laughing as a person.
But it seems that these perfected seem to move around looking for new places to colonize. I suppose is a apt way of looking at it, but at the same time, they seem to be mutated humans.
Yeah, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't think I'm in the mood to be colonized.
Regardless, it seems it all stems from this 26 Cronus strain. That seems to be the root of their existence. But on perhaps the lighter side, the necrotic serum that we found certainly has a interesting effect when it comes into contact with the 26 Draconis.
Yeah, poof.
Quite violent. As the unfortunate officer Levine discovered.
That sure sucks for him.
Well, not anymore. Now he's gray powder.
Hold up a vial. We did take samples.
I just want for the record to state for Shock, when Shock is here next episode, got the samples. Like, I made that happen.
I got samples of all kind of stuff.
We sampled delights from all parts of the galaxy.
Absolutely. Several different kinds of Levine samples.
I'm just thinking of the fact that the lead singer Maroon 5's name.
Is that Adam Levine?
Yeah.
I didn't think about that.
It gives a very different meaning to Levine's sample.
It does. You're not wrong. Oh my. Well. Suppose we should discuss our next steps then.
Yeah.
And even as Lark is saying this, she's kind of like reaching up and like has her hand on this resin stuff around the entrance. She's kind of lightly tapping her fingers on it. Almost rhythmically.
Yeah, let's talk about next steps because we've got time to kill. Work to do. And this will save.
So probably like an hour that we spent doing this, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, about 3 hours till your supposed rescue ships arrives. So we'll save figuring out our next steps for next time.
Next time.
Yeah. Bring our session to a close.
Yes.
Jeannie has stepped away, so I guess we'll go next in overlay order with Sin. to do our outros.
Okay. Hi. I am Synthetic. You can call me Sin. If you want to find me on Blue Sky, Synthetic 20. On the Dumpster Fire, it's Asynthetic 20. I've got a lot of things coming up. Most of them are in March. On Nerds with Dice, our Apocalypse Keys game is going to have its finale going up on our YouTube channel, I think, because due to the strike, we didn't do recordings during that time. So that is going to be going up on the YouTube channel next week. After that, on the 2nd of March, the second season of Masks is coming back on Nerds with Dice, where I am playing the lovable Thembo. And then on the 4th, over on Queensgate Chronicles, the second episode of Queensgate is scheduled, where my players said that they wanted to have a tea shop in a fantasy city, and I told them, you can do this. I just want you to know that it's a horror game. And they didn't believe me until the episode started rolling. But now they believe me that it's a horror game.
Little tea shop of horror.
Basically. The 6th, I'm going to be over on Bardic Inspiration Network, playing Power Rangers RPG. My little android character is about to have their first panic attack, and I couldn't be more happier for them. And then on the 8th, I'm going to be over on Lost Caravan RPG. They're doing a charity for, oh my goodness, what is it for? One of the...
out last night. It's for... Oh, come on. Work Discord.
World Wildlife Day.
Yes.
World Wildlife Day.
Yeah. The specific
and
charity is called Rewild.
there you go. And we are going to be playing some Dogs in the Bark, which is the Blades in the Dark dog hack.
Nice.
And I'm super excited. I'm GMing that. Obviously, that and Queensgate, I'm GMing. There'll be more stuff I'm GMing, so follow me on the socials if you're interested in more. Rise, what you got going on?
Oh, let's see. As Sin said, I am Rise. You can find me on Blue Sky. That's any TTRPG stuff I'm involved with. It all comes out. Yeah, I do with Blue Sky. As far as games going on, I only got one more this month, and that's on Tuesday the 27th. We're going to be playing Demigods over on Lost Caravan. Which, if you like Percy Jackson, that kind of stuff, that is very much in that vein. I'm actually going to be playing a descendant of Hades and Persephone, and I'm super excited about that. That game that looks super fun. And then coming up in March, let's see, I've got 2 games for our charity week. On the 7th, I'm going to be playing Pathfinder, and we're going to be dealing with invasive aquatic species, which, considering it's Pathfinder, are probably going to be giant fire-breathing serpents or something along those lines, because, they can't just be zebra mussels or something. And then on the 9th, I'm going to be playing Monster Care Squad with Sir Heckalot, who's going to be running that game. That one's going to be super fun. That's a really interesting, very different game. If you're not familiar with it, it's totally it's not fighting and the typical TTRPG slay the monster kind of stuff. It's really cool. Check that out. The 12th, I'm going to be doing our second episode of The Haunting of Duncan Hill, a game that was created and written and is being run by my friend Daniela. Get to play ghosts. we might possibly murder more people this time. We'll see what happens, because that's certainly what happened last time. Then what else is going on? The 21st of March is our next Heart of Darkness episode. So that'll be our next episode of this game with the wonderful Meg. And then Fabula Ultima on the 25th over on Lost Caravan. Apparently it involves airships and magic in a JRPG style setting. So we'll see how that goes. That sounds super fun.
As any Fabula Ultima game should. That sounds
Absolutely.
like the requisites for that. If you punch God, you get the trifecta.
Right? I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I'm a huge fan of like old school JRPGs, so Final Fantasy and etc. All those that came out back then. So I'm super hyped for that one. But that's what I got going on this coming month. So yeah, if you're interested in any of that, check us out, and I will be glad to have you. And I guess that leaves you, Meg.
Okay, I'm gonna plug a little bit for Janie. You can see her coming up on Saturday for King's Gambit right here on Singularity, where they do spy shit, some crazy spy shit. And then a week later, on the 2nd of March, they'll come back around for Speakeasy Conspiracy, their Call of Cthulhu campaign, where she's playing an anthropology professor. Who does voodoo, I believe. I believe she's doing voodoo now.
I actually know where Janie is going to be on the 5th of March.
Oh.
She is going to be over on Nerds with Dice doing their final episode of the Monster of the Week miniseries that they've been doing with all black cast for Black History Month.
Nice.
They moved back a week for their last episode, so their 4th episode is scheduled for the 5th of March.
Nice. And then I believe in a few weeks that she'll be starting up her winter campaign. So that should be starting in here in a few weeks. Right here on Singularity. I thought there was a Lancer thing going on, but I might be misremembering.
That's
I think
already
we
happened.
did it. Yeah,
That
was out
happened
across
already?
the world.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
That was over on Neon Lights, but
Yeah,
that's
I
already
think
taken
it was
place.
last
Oh.
week.
Well, you should go watch it anyway. Good shit. I think I've got that stuff for Janie, so I guess I'll plug my stuff. You can come right back here on Singularity on the 12th of March for Gay Camp, Campers Cross, where I get to terrorize Sin and several others for Queer on Queer Crime, where it's queer on queer crime. I'm hack and slash, and we're finally getting to the slasher horror part of the slasher horror game.
I mean, you did commit a hate crime against yourself last game.
I did.
How dare.
There was a counselor named Meg, and Meg killed the counselor named Meg.
Spoilers. Gonna have to flag this session. But then you'll see me again on the 17th for Breaking the Honor City and Miss campaign, where I'm being told Renee's story will be wrapping up with this next case. So, does that mean I'll be seeing my daughter again? Maybe. Trauma. Yep.
It's just
Yeah, it's
trauma in all
RPG.
the Singularity shows.
Trauma. And then the 20th, I will be over on Neon Lights Roleplay for By His Shadowed Peace, our Warhammer game, where I am playing an Eldari who just got to talk to her boyfriend. Yeah. At least somebody likes her, because her team sure doesn't.
Oh, God.
So one of them told her that they trusted her last session, and I was quite taken aback by that. Because they certainly haven't acted like it.
That's a step.
It's a
Right.
step. But I think that's it for me coming up in March. So, except for the 21st, where we come back around for this, obviously. But that's it. And I think we're done here. So stick around for the raid. I think we're going to throw it over to the lollygaggers. So
Nice.
have a good night, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.